senior and disability, I don't know if we have disability here. They're senior.
Fire Department's monthly report. You got it in your packet?
Now, I noticed something about that. Now, wouldn't the ending balance of 1 month be the same as the starting balance of the following month? Is that reasonable? I'm not an accountant, but,
Well, I guess unless they got income there,
well.
literally in that day.
I mean, at midnight.
Well.
Yeah, I have, no, they don't give the date of these. I assume this January 2021, this ending balance of the beginning balance of 32, I assume is the beginning of,
Two different accounts.
The general and company though, do accounts.
yeah, the general account, beginning balance 32,903. Now, that's at the start of December, or this, I guess.
This says January.
Yeah, but that's.
For December business.
For December
For
business.
December business, so at
Yeah.
the beginning of December, their balance on the general account was 32,903.
Right?
However, the ending balance for the one we got last month, which I assume is the
November.
beginning of November, says 34,059.
Are there copies of the budget for those of us?
You want a copy of the town budget? Okay, give me your address, I'll mail you one.
I can't tell you what.
I didn't
Well, the
expect.
monthly.
Hold your hand there.
The difference is,
You would think the ending balance and the beginning balance.
Right.
Should be the same.
Over $1,000.
but,
Just a question. right?
I'll ask.
Just a question.
The other issue with the fire department is that we still don't have a contract. You guys had copies of the
Right,
contract.
you had that, we were gonna discuss that, what you thought about that this month.
But we can table that. to
Pushed
next
it
month.
from last month to this month.
which is till next month.
Okay, table that.
For these,
Okay.
You said you normally pay them after the taxes come in?
Yeah.
It's usually been March, which they were fine with.
Where are we at with taxes as far as the?
I was gonna tell you that in my
Oh,
report.
okay. We'll wait till your report.
the supervisor report.
Sorry.
That's okay. Don't steal my thunder.
You got a copy of the supervisor report in the packet. Other than that, I did get the check from the court today, that went in today.
Report, yeah.
So.
Now, the supervisor report, I had a question on.
Okay.
In December, we had your report. It showed, the wages for the highway superintendent. Yeah, 50, at 55,000, and the deputy highway superintendent, he'd been paid 51 so far as of November 30th. Then, the deputy jumped up 10,000, almost 11,000.
Did we pay him?
Yeah. Take a look.
Remember we set aside money for him.
Well, that was for
his-
this, that was for this year,
That's for 21.
Right,
So
so,
we did, that's what we put in there.
right, here's November.
So what you're saying is we paid him another 10,000, we paid him an
Well,
extra 10,000?
No, well, we're overpaid in those categories.
Did he get his payment on his vacation time or whatever?
Well,
They all get that, the last,
Well-
in the last pay of the year, they get that as per the contract,
they don't have a contract.
but they get the same thing as the others
Well,
do, so.
they're taking the same thing as the others. Anyway, Lee jumped up by 7,000, Lee got 7,000, but anyway, both those categories are over.
He didn't get one of those.
Sure he did, so take a look. Why does he get 62 when his wages are 60?
I didn't think he did.
Well, you're the one that gives out the money.
Yes, I do.
Right.
And
So I,
Kevin got what he had coming at the end of the year. We had no agreement with Lee on that stuff, on vacation
you're
or
right,
anything.
we don't,
So,
but we should have.
well, we did him a disservice by not having it.
So, he can do anything he wants to, I guess, or I guess he can talk you into doing anything he wants to. Just says, here's my bill, just like Tony. Didn't Tony just come in and say, here's my bill, I want my 25, and there it is?
Well, that'll get addressed when the town clerk comes, because I'm gonna be talking about policies, I think, so that might,
Oh,
might
policies.
help, that might help address that at that point.
Well, anyway, those categories are overspent,
Right?
right? So aren't we restricted against doing that? I think there's something about that.
Well, I don't believe that's the case, and I know you like to push those things.
I
And
look at these
fingers.
things, I look at these things.
Oh, I know you do.
Yeah, I sure do. I see where the ending balance of one month is not the same as the starting balance of the next month. And I found that also in your report, here back, Leanne was here that night, remember? All of a sudden, why aren't they the same? The ending August was different than starting September. Yeah.
Okay.
So how do those things happen?
Well, we'll find out.
Somebody's not, oh yeah, you're, in the minutes, you were gonna make an investigation. How'd that go?
Into what?
Let me see. Into the judge's salary, I think it was.
The judge's salary for all the years from the time he was elected until now, we're in the budget at 11, we're in the paper at 11.
Oh, they're in the paper at 9. And now you raised them.
Well, Richard, you're incorrect.
The source of the error will be investigated by Supervisor Evia. Good. What's the source of the error?
I don't know who changed it in the program there. I can't tell you who did that. I didn't, Leanne didn't. But what he should be paid and what he is 11,000. That first year, it was 9, it got raised to 11, and it went in the paper as 11, and that's what it was in the budget, and for all 4 years of his term. It's 11. In the paper and in the budget.
But even after I brought it to your attention, you continued to pay him above his rate.
When you brought it to our attention,
I brought it to your
we
attention?
stopped paying him for the year.
No. Why did it go to, I brought it to your attention at the September meeting, is that correct?
I can't swear to that.
Well, it was.
Okay, now you always remember.
Because
things,
I,
so.
because I noticed in proportion to the year, why is there only 15% left in September 1st? That's how I happened to see it. Well, you're gonna investigate. Then, lo and behold, we do budgets and we see we're $900 over. That was because he was paid in September and October, I guess. So remember last month, we had to adjust the budget for the $900.
And we did that.
Yeah, we did.
And he didn't get paid in November or December.
But he got got $900 too much this year and $2,500 too much last year. Right?
I don't know if he did that last year or not. I'd have to see his W-2.
Well,
I'm just gonna tell you that it was in the budget and in the paper at 11,000
Right.
all 4 years.
right, we all agree that. No, it was
Well, we
in,
didn't before.
it was in the paper at 9, because I got that clipping. But then, the budget hearing, you established it in the budget workshop at 9, and it went into the paper when you have the budget hearing notice at 9. I don't have that with me, but I will next month.
Good.
Yeah. And then he came in and he complained and you went to executive session and you came back and you said, okay, 11. Because he wanted 13.5.
He did.
Right.
So you wanted it after that.
Yeah, and as a middle ground, you went to 11. That was in the fall of 2017. And in 2018, he was paid 11. And then in 2019, he was paid 13,500, or 13,462, I believe it was. So, I'm very interested in your investigation as to how that error occurred.
All right? Building inspector's report. I haven't talked to Brad.
Brad didn't give me a report, but I have had two, building permits issued in the last
Okay.
2 weeks. A new horse barn and a garage, I think.
Justice report.
On the justice report, we had, total deposits were $14.58, which was the check that was deposited today from all the sign and fee payments.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, I think I'm next.
You are town clerk report.
I think I'm next. So anyway, just to tie up, for the month of December, we had income from the town clerk of $113 that went to the town, and a big $3 went to the New York State Population Control for the dogs. The easy stuff, I'm just gonna tally up, give you the annual report for the town clerk for 2020 was that we received $4694.50, the total disbursements were the same amount, $4694.50. To date, I have collected $166,553.30 in taxes. So, and I will say that, a couple of things I want to say is on record, that I had voluntary help from Wilma Stewart to help me so that the tax all were mailed by December 28th. The majority done 26th, all were gone on the 28th. Just a couple of anecdotal things for the group that are here. We had some issues with people receiving taxes, but we're having issues in general across the county with the Rochester Substation Postal Office. We don't know where things are going there, and things are taking days and weeks that should normally be a 2-day turnaround. So I'm just encouraging constituents that call and want to know, they are getting them, they're late, but if they haven't had them and they call me, I'll print them out new bills, not a problem, I've sent out some new bills. So moving on, other things I have are, an easy thing, we do need to, vote on the slate of appointed, officials. I think I put that in you guys' packet. This is what the things will look like, when they're done, so that the public will be able to come in at any time in the clerk's office, and there'll be a notebook with all officials that provide any function for the town of Howard, what they do, if they're paid, their wages will be available, and when their term ends will be available. I provide that, too. So I'll have you look these over, make sure everything is correct. But instead of, in the past, I think they've done it both ways. They have done line by line, voting on the appointed officials, but you've got that in your packet, so I don't know why you can't look at that and we can make one resolution to accept those as they're presented. That's what my opinion is, because I'll have appendices in the notes that reflect each line item. So if that's your pleasure, I just as soon do it that way, in the interest of time. If you wanna do it line by line, we can do it that way.
Let's see.
And we did it as one, as a unit last year.
I wasn't here last year, but I think it was done as a unit
It
last
showed
year.
reflected in the minutes that it was done that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you do the minutes last year?
I don't know if I did them or not.
Someone did do January
Gary did.
minutes. Might have been Gary. Yeah.
All right. You have town justice as 11,000 on there?
I
No,
do.
because these are appointed.
No, not all of them, they're all like the first pages.
When you get this, it's just fancy. All the elected officials will be in red and the appointed officials will be in blue. So you'll know,
That'll be on the bulletin board?
I'm gonna post it wherever anybody wants to see it.
All right.
It's in the interest of transparency, that's my motto.
I'm in favor of transparency, aren't you, Don?
Yep.
So, anyway, so right now, all I need you to do is look at that and give me a resolution for accepting those, and that'll be done.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Lowell and Gary?
All in favor?
Aye.
So the town appointments. You'll notice that there is not on there, a deputy registrar or any associate town clerk. And I just briefly want to bring that up. Wilma has been volunteering time for me in the last couple of weeks, and Michael Adams has been volunteering time because I've had a couple of issues where I need to be here for tax collection, but one day there was a webinar, and I've had a couple of other things going on, so they've helped me by answering the phone and those kinds of stuff. Thank you to them for helping. I did double check, and I will be making a decision. Colleen Shutt had been the deputy registrar, but I did speak with her, and she is really not willing to fulfill that function anymore. So I'll be discussing that and finding somebody that'll be a deputy registrar. Next up is regarding the Board of Assessment Review. Wendy Jordan, who is with the Real Property Group at the county level, just wants me to mention that with the BAR, if the board wishes to decrease the amount of members of the Board of Assessment Review to 3, then we're gonna need a resolution about that. Otherwise, we will keep it at 5, and there are currently 3 members with 2 vacancies. So I'm just bringing that up, and what's your pleasure on that?
I'll make that resolution.
Now, if one of them is not there, they cannot function.
They cannot function.
Correct.
Second.
Lowell, I'm sorry.
Second.
You with the second?
The resolution is to make it 3.
To make the BAR membership 3.
Right. We haven't had, I don't think we've had 5 since the
Currently, Bruce
Ed.
Cornell, Ed Fry,
Right.
and Keith Brewster are the Board of Assessment Review folks.
All right.
Terms ending, I think Bruce's ends not until 23, Ed's ends 22, and Keith Brewster's ends in 9/30/21. So Keith's will be ending
After this year.
after this year's grievance day.
So the next time they have to meet is in May, right?
I believe
The
it.
last 2, well, I think they move it around because she has 5 towns, maybe 6 now. So it's set by statute that
She has to be there.
She has to be
she
there.
has to be there.
She
It's
has
set
to
by
be present.
statute the last Thursday in May or something like that, but she has to move around, and we authorize that in May generally, so.
So I have a motion and a second for the BAR membership to stay at 3 members with
I don't
no.
know.
Did they have any problems with anyone showing up last time?
I wasn't here then. Ed, can you speak to
Ed?
that?
5 people over the last so many years, every year has been 5.
Have you normally, when you had 5 on there, did you normally have 5 show up?
Yep.
Well, I don't think last year you had 5.
Yeah, we did.
Andrea Berry, I thought was.
She was there.
She just resigned.
Oh,
No,
just
wait.
this year?
Mm-hmm. When she moved.
Oh,
I
okay.
was there too, there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that was,
I mean-
Andrea Berry resigned in 2020.
I mean, the only thing
November.
is if you got somebody not there,
If one of us has COVID,
Yeah,
you cannot,
you
you cannot have the meeting.
right?
Well, you just have to reschedule it, that's all. Same as there is any disaster.
That's a 2-week, that could be up to 2 weeks.
Then you hope the next person doesn't.
And the law says we have to do it within a certain period of time.
Seems like a bad idea.
Well, we could always have an alternate.
Well, they gotta have training,
Yep.
so you're gonna send the alternates for training, and you don't just want to have them as members. If you're gonna do that,
If anybody's out for surgery or whatever, health issue,
Well,
whatever.
we went for, what, 50 years with 3, right?
I don't know.
Well, that was, there were 3 before there was an appointed assessor.
Yeah, there's been 3 since, 19, when this was established in 1970s.